I'm stressed.
That's
You're
a lot.
stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be factual with ourselves,
back
actually.
to bringing the stress.
Are you
home.
stressed, you guys?
Back to bringing the stress, home. So when the parent is saying I'm overwhelmed, and by the way, men don't even use those words, and
Welcome everyone to the second episode of Raise a Parent. And you know what we do here? We're here to support parents, empower them with the right information. We're not judging any parent here. What we're doing here is to make sure that the parents have the right information to help them empower their kids and to help us raise the next generation well. So, with me today, do you guys want to guess what we are talking about today? Well, I'm going to go straight to it. We're going to be talking about parenting and mental health. Parenting and I want you guys to think about our topic very well before we dive into it. And you know what? I always hook you up. I always come with the best of the best in the field. And I'm here with one of the best mental health practitioners in Nigeria. She's doing so much work. She is the founder of Breadco, and also she has a kids club for men where they, help to empower children and help them build their mental health. Trust me, this is somebody you want to follow. Please make sure that you go and search her handle on Instagram and you follow her from this session, and just say I from Raise a Parent when you get to the comment section, okay? Thank you. So right now we're going to be rolling and we're going to be welcoming Mrs. Damilola Adedeji. Hi, Dami.
Hi, hello.
It's good to see a funny thing. I know you're an eagle.
Yep.
And I used to you're someone that I used to see from afar, because you were in Lydia Hall.
Yeah.
I was in Dockers Hall, and you're in CBS, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was in CHD. So I've followed your work for a very long time, and it's good to have you here. And thank you for saying yes to us.
No, always.
So, I want you to talk. I want my audience to understand the essence of who you are.
Hallelujah.
Yeah? I want them to know that we've brought the solid and the best in the game to them. So talk to us. What exactly is it about mental health? And Damilola.
Okay, so interesting story. When I was growing up, I think one of the big things that was a serious issue for me was my dad would always make fun of me that everyone has a talent, but he can't find my own talent.
Oh my God.
And it was say if there's anything that has to do with talk, you would find out what is talk.
Yeah.
So later on, as time evolved, my dad, finally came to the realization that, oh, Dami, you're such a wise young child. And so you may not be talented with the gift of the hand. I'm not at all. I don't do anything with my hands. But you're gifted with the gift of the heart. And so I picked it. I picked that moment and I ran with it. I didn't even know what study, what course. But as I evolved with time, I found my love, my passion, where I want to sleep and die. Mental health.
That.
Yes.
I love that. And I love the fact that, you put that story around your relationship with your dad. And I think my takeaway from that is, you guys should have conversations with your children.
Yep.
Right? Even if you're giving a compliment, that compliment, research and find out and follow up. I love that. So, would you say that your relationship with your dad was a very significant part of what you're doing now and how far you've gone?
Yes, absolutely. My dad is a general. Was a general, but always a general.
Always a general. Once a general, always a general.
My uncles too. So I grew up in a military setup.
Oh, wow.
And everyone that meets me and they're like, Dami, you're very fearless. Is because I grew up with those kind of men. There was no room for fear. And there's no room to tilt your head. anything happen, brace up, raise your head, clean your face,
Show
and
up.
move on and show up. So one thing I would say I picked from my dad would be confidence and fearlessness.
Confidence and fearlessness.
But now I'm afraid of something. I used to say I didn't have fear, but now
What's
I'm
your greatest
afraid.
fear?
My children, nothing will happen to them.
That's a valid, and I think that's one of the things that maybe let me use that to go into the real topics of it, of what we go through as parents. I have 2 boys. Yes, boy, I'm a boy mom. I know you have a son.
2 boys and 1 girl.
Oh yeah, and our daughter is doing something awesome, right? She's getting. You have old clothes and now she's doing that to charity to give back, right? And it tells you where I brought you guys someone that has the experience of what it is. So yeah, you had said something about greatest fear.
Yeah.
Nothing should happen to your children. Yeah. As a mom, as a parent, how do you handle that?
Interesting.
Especially as being a mental health practitioner.
Some days I just pack that one aside. And I just show up like a mom. So I think I don't think fear is a bad thing. I just think how we navigate the fear. Starting up as a new parent, I struggled with navigating my fears. And I started off super strict with my kids. Super, super strict, such that my daughter that you just spoke about, in school, she's an A flyer, everything. When they're giving us a result, at the bottom part of it, they would say, please ensure she has fun, because my daughter doesn't play.
Wow.
And it was because of how I started to raise her. But along the way, I picked my mistakes and we started making changes, making her do childlike things and have fun and whatnot. So I would say I made mistakes in the beginning, but I just believe that's also life.
Yeah.
I navigated through that, and I'm a bit in the balanced place now. We can play and we can be serious.
I love your content with your daughter, by the way.
Thank you.
It gives me ideas.
Yeah, thank you.
I love the facts where, I like how you said fear is not a bad thing. It's how you navigate it. And I think when I talk to new moms, my eldest is 8. And I have friends that are way younger than me. And sometimes they ask me, how do you do it? How is that going through it? And I say to them, well, you just gotta get up. You just gotta get up. Absolutely. So what would you say to a new mom that is just found themselves in that zen now? They're just having a baby. I will tell you for free, when I had my baby, the first thing, I had postpartum depression after my first child. And that's why this mental health is quite important to me. So how do you prepare your mind as a parent? Now, I don't want us to just look at it from the female side. I want us to look at it holistically, both father and mother. How do they prepare, for that journey?
There is no such thing as preparation. And I think generally we are afraid of making mistakes. And in the fear of making mistakes, then we make mistakes.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, as long as you have the foundation of love for that child and you have a good support system that you trust. So support systems are always like people that I see, they've raised kids older than my kids, and I love what I see. I just always like to ask questions. I would advise that be very vulnerable. People don't like to look like they don't know. And I'm okay with not knowing.
It's okay to not know. It's okay to not know.
So don't go in, because I'm giving you like real life example. I was a prepared mother, but I messed up. So I read all the books. I had all the qualification. I know what the developmental angles of children. I knew everything, but I started off like a mess.
Life.
Exactly. So I would say that 2 things: be very open to learn.
Yeah.
And allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from it. That's all.
Allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from it. Yeah. And what I find in our climb, right? There's a lot of people judgment, you know. Sometimes it's from your people. It's from within. You know, and then you get someone telling you, when I was like you, I did, you know, I would do this, I would do that, I would carry one on my back, carry one on my hand. Just children of nowadays, you know, you get things like that. And sometimes it seeps in. You know, it seeps in. How do you control your mind? How do you manage pressure from society, pressure from, you know, people close to you, inside?
Yeah, pressure. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Especially the external pressure, I think there's even a bit to manage it because, you know, sometimes the external pressure comes from comparison.
Yeah.
Right? You just said it, during my time. Then your time. But the biggest kind of pressure is the internal one, where you feel like you're failing your children without necessarily comparing yourself. And that also happens when you do something and you see what you've done, like what I've shared with my, you know, the foundation days with my daughter, and you feel that pressure of, how do I fix this that I've spoiled, or, you know, this relationship? That's one. The second pressure that comes internally is when we over-personalize our children's actions as our own way of
Personalize
result or outcome. So what that means is, because my son isn't doing well in school, it's a reflection of my parenting. Oh no, it doesn't have to be that way. So the pressure that people face that is so intense is more internal than actually external, right? And one of the things I would say about pressure and how to work around pressure is simple, is that accept what you have.
Accept it.
Sometimes we're in denial of the fact. So you see parents, even now when we're trying to give our parents feedback on how they raised us, they'll still keep giving excuses.
Yeah.
They just don't want to accept. But the moment we accept and take responsibility for what has happened, it's easy for us to navigate ourselves out of it easily. So that I think pressure for me is always first accept what you're seeing as what it is, and then asking the right question on, how do I get myself out of this way that I'm feeling. Yeah. So the acceptance is always the struggle.
Acceptance, internal struggles. I lost my mom when I was my final year, and I think one of the things that usually comes to mind sometimes for me is, I want to do better than what my mom gave me, because she was a fantastic mother.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah. And she's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, to be honest. And, you know, I look at it and I ask myself, am I putting myself under too much pressure? Right? Am I doing it right? What will my mom do? Right? And so I want to believe I'm not the only person that, you know, feels that way. Sometimes you have this, there are people that struggle, and I'm talking about this from a friend's experience, whereby, you know, the expectations from you, because you're a child to someone.
Yeah.
You have parents too. And then you have this thing whereby you just want to be that role. You want to make sure that you are doing the right thing and your parents are proud of you, and that you're raising their grandkids well. How do you balance all that to navigate and make sure that you don't take your own trauma onto your children?
Okay, so it's first to remove the comparison. And you gave a good example. You had a good mother, and obviously it's always easy to say, since it was good, let me just go the same route,
yes.
which makes common sense. But however, your daughter will lose the essence of the uniqueness of who you are if you continue to emulate your mother.
Yeah.
Right? So what I would say with that is, first of all, take off the comparison and say you are good enough. Because if you were raised by a good mother, then you're good enough.
You're good enough.
So you don't necessarily have to be like her.
You're good enough.
Yes. So the first thing is to realize that I'm good enough. And because I'm good enough, I will give what is good.
Good.
Right? And if I give what is good, I expect to receive what is good in return as well from my own kids. On trauma, That's the flip side of things. You had a good one.
Yes.
On the trauma part, every parent needs to heal if you've experienced any form of trauma. I gave a good example growing up with my father, and I told you he gave me confidence and all of that. There's also the flip side of being raised in that type of setup. And that comes from me being overtly independent. I'm a tough woman. You know when they say you're not a feminine?
Yeah.
I'm just getting to be soft.
Yeah, I had this conversation with a friend recently, yes.
Exactly. So the balance side for me is now what starts to happen in the parenting. So because this is how I was parented, I started, doing the same. So my house is highly structured. My mother-in-law comes to the house and she say, "She military ground, they live." Because every hour is accounted for. You're sleeping, you're moving, do you understand? So I had to take it back burner to deal with myself. So even if I'm a therapist, I went for therapy. I went for therapy 2-3 times.
Wow.
Yep. And I saw, that's why I said we need to accept the truth of who we are. That's how we can be better people. So I went into therapy like 2, 3, 4 times, and it really helped my parenting. And I had a balance. So we have fun, we have structure, we are flexible, we are this. But I had to deal with myself first to get that to my kids.
It's interesting, that for you as a professional, you still, told yourself, I need to do this. Absolutely. And you were able to. So things I'm taking from this session is, number one, like, don't compare. You're enough as a parent.
Absolutely.
You're very much enough. And another thing is forgive yourself for whatever reason you think
Absolutely.
you know. And therapy is, I need to even, I'm going to ask you that question. Because when you tell people in Nigeria that Africans generally, I'm in therapy, does this look like
what's happening?
You going to Yaba left?
Yeah.
So, what would you say to people that's about making therapy normal? It's not it's not something they shouldn't think about. How do we encourage people?
So, because of the understanding of what therapy is in this part of the world, we may need to debunk a lot of things.
A lot.
Right?
A lot.
So you've said number one. People know therapy to be more curative. So I'm curing depression, I'm curing trauma. But the other flip side of therapy is just having a mind doctor. Because these are people who have studied the science of the mind. And everything about you as a human being is controlled. Your mind is the powerhouse.
Yes.
And so imagine you working with an expert that knows how to work with a powerhouse. You're going to be a better person, right? So therapy is not necessarily always about I'm going to fix something.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of fixing something, if you are ill, you have headache, you go to the doctor. But when you start, because mental health issues are not physically, they're not physical, you can touch it. The pain is always internal, so it's hard for you to, put that out there. But regardless of it, you can't ignore it. The pain is there.
Yeah.
And sometimes we suppress it with different coping mechanisms. We become workaholics.
It's a coping mechanism. It's not who you are.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You look for other coping mechanisms just to get everything down. By the end of the day, it starts showing up later on in life. And that's what I've seen with most of my clients. They come in when all that they've swept for decades starts to show up in their marriages, in their children. It starts to show up in their work and many other things. So, therapy is really essential.
Yeah, for me right now, I feel like, I'm taking my sub where it applies and also giving myself a mental note. And I hope you guys are doing that too. So I want us to go to the children.
Yeah.
We've talked about handling our trauma. We've talked about, not comparing. But then we're now in the age. Let me start with my favorite people in my office, like the Gen Zs, right? When you do something like you're triggering my mental health, that's a trigger. You hear people tell you, "Oh, please, I'm protecting my mental health," and then you have children that will be telling you, my 8-year-old is very vocal. Very, very. Even my 3-year-old is very vocal. Come to think of it. And they tell you how they feel. They're more expressive, unlike during our time.
Yeah.
And then for millennial parents, you're like, they don't bomb me with
To do this, to say this.
to say this, to my parents, right? So how can we, manage that system that we don't put our children to become people that are struggling mentally? What do we do? How do we manage
So I think we've answered this by the first thing is to go and deal with yourself.
Deal with yourself. Deal with yourself. Okay.
And then the second is also learning to validate feelings. See, a lot of people in this part of the world do not understand the concept of feelings. And we often think that feelings is weakness and all, but feelings is like God telling you that this is a part of you that gives you an alarm that something is going on. So it's like an alarm system to your life. So if I'm to say anything to parents when their kids are giving feelings, is first of all validate their feelings. And why I'm saying this is that we see pain as a measurement.
Pain.
But it's not. Like when you said, during my time, we walked 300 miles. During your time, no.
Pain is not.
Pain is pain. And it's very subjective to the individual. So if someone says, Dami, you were very, very, I felt really, ashamed by the things you said. I can't say, why are you feeling ashamed? That's the person's feeling. Hello? All I can do is I recognize that you feel ashamed. I recognize it. I validate it, right? And then I can go further to explain what my actions were, but not to jump, right? And the other thing parents like to do is solutions. It's not just parents. Very common, especially with guys.
Very.
They are solution focused. Just let me help you. Do you want to be helped or you want to cry?
They're two different things, right? Sometimes you just want to cry.
And I do a lot of couples therapy, and I tell the men, I'm like, most of the time your wife comes to you, it's not really that she doesn't have a solution.
Yeah. You're very true.
She just needs you to empathize, and that's it. So when you give her the solution that she already has, you're not helping, right? So we need to just learn to validate the feelings of our kids. I feel shy. I don't feel good. I'm angry and whatnot. Is very good to validate it, so they know it's normal to feel those, have those emotions, and not off.
One of the things I used to have on most of my appraisal is, she's emotional. And it got to me at some point, and I had to sit down and ask myself, what does it even really mean to be emotional? Right? And what you just said tells me, emotions are good. Having emotions is good. It's how you navigate it that, that matters. And that brings me to something that, most of us as parents, we transfer. We don't know. And we say sometimes, you hear, I'm overwhelmed. You hear words like, I'm overwhelmed. Maybe the woman is saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I'm always tired. And the man is like, what's wrong with you? I'm here. I'm, and you see those things sometimes spark arguments in the home, conflicts in the home. As parents, how do we manage all this, and helping our children also to understand that conflicts for me, I feel conflict is is good, because I feel like it's a solution. It gets to a solution. I'm managing it and differentiating what anger is and all that. So how do we manage all that?
So in terms of being overwhelmed, I think it's something that is very common to most people, not even just parents, actually.
Not just parents.
One of the big health or mental health situation we have in the world now is the word stress.
I'm stressed. Stressed.
According to statistics, we have the rising numbers of people who are stressed from 2022 up to date.
Wow.
And it's skyrocketed to 42% increase.
Wow.
of the general population. So I'm stressed.
That's
You're
a lot.
stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
so
be factual with ourselves,
back
actually.
to bringing the stress
Are you
home.
stressed, you guys?
Back to bringing the stress, home. So when the parent is saying I'm overwhelmed, and by the way, men don't even use those words, and I want to appreciate. I want to see more men use those words.
The men don't cry, boys don't cry.
Because
those
the suicide
words.
rate has actually swapped.
Yeah.
Before it used to be women, but now the increase is on men.
Wow.
Because they don't speak out, especially African men. So when someone says I'm overwhelmed, the person is literally telling you I need help. That's all that it is. You don't even have to say, oh, what are you doing? No, it's literally be sensitive to what they are doing and put your feet in. So if someone says, oh, I'm overwhelmed, like a parent or a mother, I'm in the house, I would go to the kitchen to do the dishes. I don't even need to know what it is that is really making you overwhelmed. I just know being overwhelmed is about a pile up of all that you have to do that is in your heart. So I say, what do I need to take off to support and help you?
And that's why we say, I raise a parent, like, we're not here to judge. We're here to empower, to make you, relax.
Yep.
And breathe and understand that you're not alone. There's you have an entire community standing with you to help you to make things, easier as a father, as a mother. And it's interesting to hear, the statistics that you've given. Yep. It's something. Yeah. So when a man, how do men express, like fathers now? Because sometimes you feel like they take it all.
They don't.
They don't, right?
They express it.
How do they express it? How can it be identified? Sometimes as women, because I'm a mom, right? We feel like they're men.
They should take it in.
They should take it in. But I loved what the Father's Day campaign, that I saw a Father's Day campaign online that men feel too. I think that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, I really loved that campaign. So yeah.
Yeah, so for men, you see it, first of all, is in silence. When a man is withdrawn and is silent, is taking in things that he's not supposed to take in. Is covering up for the pain and the struggle that he's going through. And we men also, you have to also see the flip side when they are all out. So you see a guy that is always outside and we're outside, socializing, talking. And you just feel like this person has it, is happy, is doing well and all. But that's how he's coping. Without the fun, he would sink. So they actually express it, but they express it in so many ways. In drinking, in drugs, in being quiet, in avoiding the home. There are cases like that. They don't want to step into the house. Not that they don't like their wife or their kids, but the home reminds them of what they are not doing and what they are not doing well. So men actually show it, right? And just because, you're not an expert, you can't see it, right? But they show it, but they just do not verbalize how they feel. Yeah.
So we've established two things. When the women are more expressive, when they say they are overwhelmed,
support.
That is
support.
That's when support. When you see that the daddy, your husband is a bit withdrawn, out of character, maybe that's when you should say, let's do date nights and
it's not the time to bring the list.
It's not the time to bring the list, moms. You know how we do with our list, right? Yeah, it's not the time to bring the list. So let's bring this to where we round this up, right? And we've established the fact that people don't easily say yes to therapy.
Yep.
So we've identified all this, the points when it comes to a mom, a point when it comes to dad, and also for the children. At what point do you, if you want to step in and say, I'm seeing these triggers, or how do I step in and say, no, this person, we need to get this person to therapy. What are the steps that we can take to help the mental health of the mother, of a father, of a child?
So because therapy in itself has to be a receptive thing. You would need to tread a bit careful to not put pressure, because once there's pressure, then the purpose of therapy is already lost. So what I would say is do more of what you're doing. more education, more conversations. And just by this short conversation, people have picked, they've learned. They may not have learned, but they've become aware that, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Now you've started changing things. The other thing would be safe spaces.
Safe spaces.
And I really want to advocate for that for fathers, for men.
Yeah.
There are not many safe spaces for them. And we might just think that
it exists.
Yeah. Most times when they come together, they are not talking about their pains. They hardly do that. They're talking about their wins.
It's
So
true.
we need more safe spaces because we don't want to lose the population of men, quality men in the world.
Quality men in the world. So if you have a brother out there, or you have a father or a husband out there, and all these things we've discussed, right? You feel like, please, share this with them, right?
Yeah.
It might be just the thing that becomes a conversation starter, and help them to be their safe space.
Yeah.
Let's not judge. Less of the judging, right?
Yeah.
More of the safe spaces. So I think what I'm taking away from this session is safe spaces. So if you want to round this up, 3 things that you want our viewers to, take note of.
Okay, so I would say first of all would be it takes a village. It's funny that it was our forefathers that had that quote. And it's so funny that they are the ones that
didn't
support you going to the village.
Yes.
You get my point. So
I
I'm
get
going to
it.
take it back. So it takes a village to actually become the best version of the parent you want to be. And it takes a village to raise your children.
Yes.
So when I mean the village is choose the right people. Your community.
Right people.
Ask for help. And don't be by yourself.
Avoid isolation, please.
Don't be by yourself. I think the second thing would be more about less over-personalizing your children's actions. I hear this thing, if the person was raised well, he'll turn out well. Well, in my own field, I've been practicing for almost 12 years now. I have seen fantastic parents with questionable children. How do we explain? So parents need to step aside to not think they are God.
Yeah, you're not God.
Over the child that, and then you exert so much anger and trying to shape the... Sometimes I always say to parents, let them fail.
Let them feel.
And let them fall. And
Don't be too fast to grab.
And trust they will pick themselves up again, because really that's what life is about. We have to fall and rise. But if we keep trying to save our children every time, they don't build any form of resilience.
The resilient spirit.
And it's lost, right? So I would say my second is don't over-personalize your parenting and all. Don't do that. Their win, I wanted to say it's not your win, but I would say it's their win.
Even me, I'm like, I want you be, Davy.
And their failure is their failure, because that's what I tell my boys. I said, you failed. Okay, how does that make you feel? Because I didn't fail. I have good results for me.
This thing you have said, damn me, good.
I know. So yes, that would be my second. I think the final one would be resist the urge to be ashamed. There's generally, even with parents as well, and then generally there's a spirit of being shameful or being ashamed or being cautious of the people around you and how you behave.
What will people say?
What will people say? Or just, you need freedom. I think peace comes when you're shameless. You can't shame the shameless.
You cannot shame the I'm sure my team will be like, you can't shame the shameless. Yeah, I support that.
And whatever you accept about yourself, someone can never use it against you. So I know me. If someone says, Dami is impatient, absolutely. Why am I angry? I'm impatient because I've accepted it about myself. So I think those are the three things. And then generally, let's just be kind to one another. I met I'll conclude with this story because it's very important.
Yeah.
I was in the restaurant a fast food.
Okay.
I came in to pick in something. It was very early in the morning. And I saw a mother. She had a baby on her, and then she had a little toddler.
Toddler and baby
I
combination.
think that should be like 3 years old. And I just saw her like maybe she knows me from, wherever.
Yeah.
She just kept spying and looking, and I was wondering what was going on. And I saw how she was shy to bring out the cooler. She actually came to buy food from the first. So she was shy to bring out the cooler.
We see you, mommy. You're not alone. Don't worry.
to buy the food from the fast food and all of that. I could see that she thought I was judging her. Or whatever, but I could tell that was happening. So what I now did was I bent down to the toddler and I said, your mom is about to buy jollof rice and you're going to love it. And then she smiled and then I walked away. I think we need to learn to support without necessarily supporting. I don't need to know her. We don't need to know them. But when you can sense that something is happening, just try and step in. And
softly.
Softly and do something. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dami. This has been a really, really formative session for me. I learned. I know you said you wanted to learn.
I did.
I hope you did too. And the takeaway, really, the world needs more kind people. So be the kind one. Don't hold it back. If you're kind, be kind. If you're nice, be nice. I don't like people telling me I'm nice because I feel like but kindness is a fruit of the Spirit. So practice the fruit of the Spirit. Be kind today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Subscribe to my mommy's YouTube channel, Raising Parents Now.